Okay. We have a round table. Four, okay. But we Hi.
So we're talking about the minimum and the maximum levels. Minimum and maximum levels. Minimum level. These are just levels. So that should be explained. And again, you can also use the what? The diagram, because the diagram will explain, you are going to be explaining the diagram itself to say this is how it should be. Is it bad, Khadija? You remember the diagram? Good. So that is that. Again, we talked about accounting for labor. Accounting for labor, we talked about some things like timekeeping. 3, accounting for labor. Revision, that is what I'm saying. In the mid-semester exams, we don't have a week for revision. So I thought we should revise a bit and then we should continue with our labor continuation. So we have in labor accounting, we have things like timekeeping. You remember this? Can you give an example where people show that they are timekeeping? Khadija? Linda? Where we talk about timekeeping. Can you just give an example of where you see people in connection of labor, they keep time? Khadija, come up. You have remembered now. What are we doing? We're revising on what we have already tackled. Okay. We want to revise on the stuff that we have already done. And then we are saying timekeeping, an example. At the bank, you remember we do that. People go in, then the door opens. We have seen somewhere, or we have heard other people, they say they have a book where when they just come in, they say, please, can you sign? You have ever seen that? That is timekeeping. Okay. So that's just on timekeeping. Maybe labor turnover, we have not tackled that one. We're going to learn today the labor turnover, but the computation of payroll we have learned, isn't it? We learned last week. Computation of payroll. How is the computation done? Khadija, Banda, Linda, James, Love, myself, we are all employees of a certain organization. So how are they going to compute our payrolls? Linda and myself were in a certain department. Banda and Khadija in another department. Love and James in another department. Let's just imagine to say we have 3 departments where Linda and myself were in stores or stores. And then Banda and Khadija accounts. And then Lavu and James are in what? Human resource. But all of us are working under one organization. So we just want to understand about the computation of payroll. How are they going to compute our salaries? Payroll is where you are supposed to be paid your salary. How? They are going to say, me and Linda, we have our own different salaries. These also the same. So they will base on how many hours you have done when you were doing the timekeeping. For example, Khadija on today came a bit late by 5 minutes. Linda by 30 minutes. The one that came in early was Loveness. It means Loveness today is going to get all hours if she doesn't go out during break and be late. So they will compute the salaries basing on the time. You get the point? Good. The number of hours each one works is how much is going to get. It's impossible for us to be paid the same amount unless it's a salary, but we're talking about labor. Labor is where people work, they're paid based on hours. So this is what it is all about. The allocation of fellows, this is why I did that. It means her and myself, every department is given a sum of money that is there for salaries. So this allocation of payroll cost, it means Linda and myself are going to get from this one, while Banda and Khadija are going to get from there. And then Lavu and James are going to get their salaries from their amount that they have been allocated. You get the point? That's where we are talking of allocation of payroll. Despite all of us working in the same department or organization, there's no way we can get our payroll from for example, here we have accounts, we have administration, we have lecturers. Okay, it means lecturers should get their money from lecturing, administration from administration, accounts from accounts. You get the point? That's what it means on that. The other thing that we can be reminded of that is obvious, that's the FIFO, LIFO, and AVICO, or weighted average, weighted average. Okay. What is FIFO, James? Good. Linda, what is LIFO? Okay, thank you. Khadija, it's your turn. LIFO? Last in, first out. Banda, Aviko? Love, Aviko? Yes, but the meaning of Aviko is just average cost. Okay? Average cost or weighted average, where you can explain of what love is trying to say. Okay? So these have to be known so that when somebody asks you, you should be able to answer because we have already tackled them. Maybe I should take you back to some time when we were just starting the course. Can you remember this? Prime costs. We learned about prime costs. You remember them? What are they? Prime costs?
Prime cost, these are direct materials.
Yes, but just answering that, it means to me, it's just a 1 out of a 10. Okay. Prime costs are costs which, yes, you can answer direct, but you are supposed to stipulate what direct. Direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. And then explain to say the direct ones are the material that can be seen from the product. For example, the benches that were here. What are the direct material for the benches? Wood or plank, is it? Yes. So those are direct materials. But there are other things that are also there, which are overheads. What are overheads, Khadija? Overheads, you remember them? You have forgotten them. Okay. Love, overheads. Don't just come to class without reading what we have learned. Because that is going to make you fail, and yet this subject is very cheap. Believe it or not. Since I started lecturing, it was, I think, last year that 2 of them failed. Otherwise, nobody has ever failed. Never. Why? Because when they have learned in class, they go back and read. Don't just sit. Banda, can you remind their group of what are overheads? Yes, these are indirect materials, indirect labor, indirect expenses to a product. Okay, so in the normal way, this is just the opposite of that. This is direct or direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. This one, indirect labor, indirect material, indirect expenses. That's what we learned when we are talking about the product costs. Product cost, I remember that time, Linda, she was coming in when we were learning about product cost. That's why I was asking her, because she found us on that topic. So please be reading. Please be reading. Third time, please be reading. You know what? Time is never enough. Always you will say, yeah, pretty well. But read. There's no way you can just be busy throughout, never. At least, just reading for about 15 minutes, you have done something. You don't realize that time, but when you are in the exam, that's when you say, oh yes, I think reading is good. Read to understand, not just reading as if you are reading a newspaper, which is just there for that. But read to understand. When you are talking about overheads, read what are overheads. Give examples of overheads when you are talking about overheads. So please, let's be serious. And then JIT. What is JIT? Did we learn about this? Good. What is it? Just in time. Okay. Can you explain a bit? Not Linda now. Maybe the one that has just come. Yes.
This is the system whereby companies or things
Okay.
so that they want to like they produce it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they want the next month, they produce it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So
they produce needed goods.
Good. So please be ready. Be ready. How about cost center? Cost center was something that we learned early days when we were introducing the topic or the course itself. Cost center. What is a cost center? It is there in our books because we don't read. A cost center, please.
Where the cost is there.
Good. Where is a cost center? Okay. For example, we had the 3 departments that we were employed, all of us, excluding Timothy, yes, excluding Timothy because he was not here. So the cost centers are those departments, isn't it? Yes. Don't get confused. Be ready. Then we have this one that we rent also again. Coding. Do we know coding? Banda, we learned, isn't it? Khadija, we learned coding. Linda? Timothy? James? We learned about coding. Who were not here? Linda and James. Love, we were not here again. But you remember to have heard about coding? But you also came late. Maybe you were not there, but I remember you were there, but we had already started. Timothy, you remember coding? Come again?
I just have an idea what.
Okay, you have an idea that we learned, but you have forgotten. Good. So please, coding. Coding is mainly to those that were not there, James and Linda. Coding is where you identify material through letters and figures. For example, you go in any hardware, in any, let's say, area, you are going to see that some have been coded, have been put letters and figures. For example, we can say, here there are full bags of nails, different lengths. I gave that example to say we have got, let's say, these are packs of nails. There again, again, full in the house, but different lengths. For example, the length can be, let's say, 2 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch, whatever inch you can mention. But these are nails. It's difficult for somebody who is inside there, that is controlling the stores, that he should be just feeling to say, how long is this nail? Well, if somebody has come to pick for use, maybe in the factory, it's difficult. You are supposed to label them. The labeling is then, you can say, by putting a nail, an N, an N, an N. You can just put N2 without inch. It means you are going to know yourself that this is a 6-inch nail, and then you take the nails, weigh them, you give them to the one that requires it. That is coding. This is very common. You go in a shop, they will tell you that, please, can you tell us the code? This one has a code. This is, we call it a barcode. Okay? When you go to the marker, it says K. It means it's subtracting from the what? From the stores. That's what it is. So that is what is coding. Everything, even your phones, even your phones have been coded. Everything is coded in a shop, isn't it? Or in a warehouse. So this is what we wanted us to understand about the coding. Coding is very important when we're talking about material. So no coding is very important. Any questions according to the revision that we're doing? Yes. That's why I'm saying you don't read, because when you are reading, you can even know the roles of cost and management accounting. Was it Love who talked about, no, Khadija, you said about decision making? Yes. Decision making is one of them. There are about three main ones, but explain to us what are they actually. I'm giving you something to do. You are supposed to go and read, because we learned already this. Go and read. Because you can't be learning a subject without knowing the importance of that subject. Then it's useless for us to be in class. So please be serious with school. Those that are going to fail my subject will not come in my class. Please be reading. Is it fun? Very important. Which topic is very difficult? Laws of cost and management. It's not difficult. It's in the book. Everything that we have written, we have learned, and it's in the book. Maybe only this one that we are going to learn today. Otherwise, everything that we have put on the board, we learned. So please be reading. I've done the revision deliberately for you, not tomorrow to come and say, Mom, you didn't revise. But normally what happens is that when we are doing the mid-semester, we don't have a week for revision. So I thought I should revise for you to have an idea on what we have already covered. It's where we are going to be having our mid-semester from the topics. So please be serious. Any questions for the revision? Love? Any questions? Fine. You are going to read, Khadija. I don't want to fail anybody. Please. And write neatly. For that, let me concentrate on how you should answer, because you have never answered my question paper. So I'm even taking out the cost and management. How to answer a question. Hello, dear. You want me? Yes. I thought maybe you want somebody. Okay. Then I have to. So because Frank came, that's why we paused. But now we just have to continue on how to answer a question. We just have to have a simple example. A simple example. Maybe I should think about maybe what is a notebook? We just want to understand how somebody has to answer. What is a notebook? So everybody is going to answer. What, not in your bus discussion. We just want to know how we should be answering a question. If somebody asks you now to say, what is a notebook? What can you answer? What can you answer? we want to understand or we want to know how to answer a question during an exam. And we are given now an example. This is just an example. Because you have never answered questions on an exam for me, that's why I'm saying we just have to think about that. We start with the love. If somebody asks you to say, what is a book? What can you say?
It is a book that
Love says where we write. You write or record. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come again? Talk loud because our friends on the online also want to hear.
This book contains many papers. Which have horizontal and one vertical line.
Horizontal.
Horizontal and one vertical line.
Okay. That's love. Then we come to James. What is a notebook? This is James, is it? Mm-hmm.
Which are plain and are not easy.
Which are
Please, but which are plain, they are empty. They are empty and it is used to record or draw anything. You may want to like by using a pen.
which you may what? Which you may
We like
like. Uh-huh.
by using a pen or a pen.
Good. The other one, what is the book? Khadij? Mm-hmm. That's the Khadija. This is a book which is used for sketching. Should be a chat. Sketching. Sketching what? Sketching? Andy? Band? Maybe if you are within them, you can say, I'm within that one. I am with that one. What is a book?
Say notebooks. The these notebooks. These collection.
That is now Banda. These are correctional, you said?
Pages used for writing. Drawing. Keeping information. So these are mainly used by students. For people in the office.
Example? Hard, hard copy, hard cover, notebook. Linda, maybe you have a different idea on what is a notebook? Okay, good. So we are saying Linda now. Erungawiri, Linda. Yes, before you answer, you have something to say? Good. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. That's a very good question. It has 20 marks. It means Linda now is saying if it's 20 marks, it will be the answer will be conclusion. Conclusion will include what?
It's gonna include what was in the introduction.
The summary. The same. You are the only person remaining. Which one are we going to be? Maybe you have a different idea on that?
Yes, I do, but
An addition?
yeah.
Good.
A notebook is a bunch of print papers, blank, no pen.
But hazina lija
Too
Timothy, yes. I don't know why to pay Timothy. Timo. Timo is saying,
Okay, I agree with this one.
we
But,
have,
but I think I just analyzed what I was saying in that.
yes,
A notebook is a bunch. It is a bunch of blank pages pinned or meshed together. Meshed, not made.
Meg,
Meshed,
Meji,
yes.
together.
And it is used by different people to get different information. I think that's most what I focus on in the essay.
So this one should go to the introduction, as you are saying, Timo.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And now everybody of us is going to get it. Let me say this. If you were a teacher yourself, can all of them have the same marks? No. Who can take the bigger mark?
According to the marks, no? Go with the basic format.
Okay. How about you, Lindy? If you are a lecturer or a teacher, who marks can be the same level? Who can be the best? Timothy.
Those who was
Come again?
the people who ran it provided it provided the
James, these are together already. Yes. They are sitting together, their contribution is the same.
No, since I didn't know that the marks are going to be that large.
Come again?
Since I didn't know that the marks are that big, like 20 marks, I can just be fair to them if the students didn't know that.
Also, it means this one 20, this one 20, this one 20, 20, 20.
No,
That's what you're telling us. Because you're fair.
not fair as in give you no reference to them. 14, 14, 14.
All of them 14, 14.
But 12, 12, 12.
Or 12, 12. Who can get 12, 12 and who can get 14, 14?
The leading guy can get 14 or 15.
Uh-huh.
All of those 4 if they not true.
For me, that was my introduction. Because you cannot start an essay without an introduction.
Okay. Can it?
The one who wrote an essay should be given marks and read it. Okay.
Okay. Anna. You know what? What I want you to understand when you're answering the question. First, know how many marks. Because sometimes they can say, you can look at it as if it's a big question, but the marks are 5. It means you are going to write in a summary form. You get the point? But if there are many marks, 20, 25, it means they're telling you that you have to discuss. It's something to do with something of an essay. Okay? So, why I'm saying this is that when we are answering the question, when they're telling us about overheads, we have been reminded to say they are indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses. If it is 5 marks, then you can just write in short. But if it's 20 marks, it means you're supposed to say, even give examples for what? For that. Okay? So why I'm taking you here is just to groom you to say, when somebody wants you to answer a question, say it or answer as if you have, that lecture has never heard about that, so that you get more marks. You are at a university, mind you, are not at a primary school where I will say, a book, what is a book? A book is just, and then you sit down now. You are a university student, it means you are supposed to explain to somebody as if he has never seen it ever before, despite I'm your lecturer. You get the point? I just wanted to take you there to say, answering a question, when I've asked you a question, please be answering as if I don't know myself. And not only that, sometimes I cannot mark your exam because of other circumstances. Then somebody is going to mark you. It means I has to have an idea to say, this one, yes, knows what she is doing. Not just answering in short. They give you a booklet to answer. You just answer two answers and you expected 20 marks from this. Cheating yourself. You get the point? That's the whole essence of why you have done all that. I want you to be answering things that at least I have to understand on what you're saying. Be smart. Smart when writing. I make a word. Be completely messed up a question. Just say, cancel, then you go below. Okay. If they have told you that answer a question on each page, it means on each page you have answered the question. It has gone over to other side. Don't start the next question on the same. You start from the other page. You get the point? So this is what we are saying. Be smart. At least you are writing an exam, which is for your assessment. Don't write as if you are a doctor that you are prescribing medicine that it's only the language for them. No. Write smart with good handwriting. Sometimes I'm old. Sometimes I can't say exactly what you mean. But what has she written here? No. Be clear and write properly according to what you are supposed to do. So this is only how to answer a question. It's part of the revision. Any questions? Any questions about the revision? Love? Any questions, lovelies? Khadija? Bang? Lynn? Timothy? James? So this is what you do. Write the question numbers. Don't just write that down with each other knows that what is the book is what is question number 2. No, right. So this is our video that we had. Let's go now to the yes.
That is any question.
Yes, it's fine. So far you have indicated the number. You can start with the question number 6. Because that one is to you, is the easiest that you don't want to forget. Start number 6. So far you indicate. Okay. Whether you go to number 1, the number 3, number 2, okay, number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all. Okay? That's fine. That is not an issue. Just write the number of the question. Good. A good question. So now we go to our normal stuff that we just want to continue on the topic we started last time. What did we say labor is? What is labor? What did we say labor is?
Labor is the mental physical effort that is put in the reduction of services or goods.
Okay, good. So labor, we're talking about physical and mental in connection of goods and services. Okay, so that is what labor is all about. And labor, we always talk about them being paid in hours. Being paid in hours. Of course, we are also talking about salaries in the accountability of labor, because sometimes they can be talked as interchangeably. Because other people can say it's getting the salary or labor because people maybe do not know. But you, as cost and management accountant, you should know what is the difference. And what is the difference between the labor or wages and the salary, as we said last time? What is the difference between the wage and the salary?
Salary is paid monthly, or wage is paid hours.
Very good. So, give examples for salary. People that get salaries, for example. Come again. Teachers, okay.
Doctors.
Come again.
Doctors.
Doctors. So many of them. Teachers, it's commonly done that. But for us, you can see that we sign for hours, isn't it? It means it's a wage, isn't it? As cost and management accountants, you can now see. Okay, timekeeping. A very good example. We are going to give it to you. Say, can you write Vanda 13? I have taught you from what time to what time? From 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it is 2 hours. So 2 hours is the one that the university is going to pay. You get the point? Yes. So that is what we can discuss in connection of our previous class that we had. Wherever you see that when you are reading, you don't understand. I have a phone, of course, Frank has taken it. I have a phone. You can ask me anytime to say, Mom, I don't understand here. What do you mean? I will explain it to you. Okay? Please, I'm telling you, you should be reading. I want all of you to take distinctions from my class.
Good distinction will be able.
I thought you were being given the stipulations. Should I tell you now? Tell me.
80, 89, 90.
Sina ukama mapepa wanaguza ne? So please, hey, answer as if you know what you are doing and why you are here. Not that it is school for my dad and mom. No. But your school. Because other people come here just because their parents say, please go to university, go to school. But you have that passion of you knowing what is the status of it, so that you should make it and be somebody out there. So we learned up to what? Labor, yes, but what as live? We learned up to, we learned about direct and indirect labor, is it? Yes. Come again? We left on what?
Treatment.
Okay. We talked about accounting elements or elements for labor costs. We talked about employee taxes, is it? Muzile should not take it. Okay. We said what accounting treatment? We talked about idle time. Or 3 accounting treatments in connection of, well, that's where we left. Okay. We're talking about overtime premium, is it? Overtime premium, we are talking about those that are given overtime. You have ever heard other people saying, and we have overtime, okay? Or else we're going to work abnormal time, not normal time. So those are some of the things that we were talking, and we were talking about now the treatment of the accounting that is there when they are doing overtime. Number 1, the first overtime, we are talking about accounting and control of labor, but we are talking